I'm not gonna sing. I'm not gonna do it. No.
Fuck you.
Because this album's not worth singing. But yeah. It's what, weekly mail reviews. This is
something like that.
Something, I don't know what it is. It's Megadeth Super Collider. That's what we're talking about today. So.
Unfortunately, we're talking about this.
Yeah, so I'll let you start.
This is leaked for a really long time. But I wanted to have somebody with me to review this, because it would make it a lot more fun and less painful. So I invited Keith. I drug Keith into the torment. And we unfortunately listened to this album all the way through. I've unfortunately listened to this album like 4 times all the way through. I'm surprised I'm still here to talk about it. Yeah, this is Megadeth's Super Collider. This is like their 14th album, you know, because their last album was 13. I didn't use rocket science to come up with that. It's about 11 tracks too long, and yeah, I don't even know where to start with this. You can start.
Okay, so you know, I was kind of like everybody else when Super Collider leaked. I was like, really? You know, you guys are spending, what, another 1.5 years worth of writing, and this is what you come up with? One chord, basically, throughout the entire song, and... I mean, I was like, you know, maybe the rest of the album will be a little bit better. That was my initial. It's like, okay, maybe for whatever reason, this isn't good. Like, they put this song out because it's the title track, and I mean, it's kind of catchy, but, like, in a bad way. Like, I really want this song to get out of my head, but it won't. And then Kingmaker also leaked, or they released after, and that one was okay. I was like, okay, I have a little bit of hope restored for this album. It wasn't amazing. It wasn't what I expected from the album, but I was like, okay, this song. So I came over, you know, sat down and listened to it, and yeah, that's really about all that I liked from this album. I mean, they had the Thin Lizzy cover at the end, which was pretty good, and there was like the one riff in Forget to Remember, whatever the heck the song's called, and that was pretty cool. But then the rest of the album, I can't remember, like, nothing sticks out.
You forget to remember.
I forget, yeah. Like, I don't even know what song it was. It was the one that had the banjo or whatever. I'm just sitting here thinking,
Black as Crow.
Yeah, what the fuck? A banjo. And then, I believe is it Forget to Remember that starts off with like the bluesy thing? I'm like,
don't turn your back.
Don't turn your back. Yeah, I'm like, okay, again, this isn't what I expected. I mean, and it's not, musically the album's alright. There's a couple good riffs, and like the riffs and the drums are alright, but the two things that really hurt this album are the vocals and the leads. The leads are all very unimaginative, I feel. They all blend together. Don't ask me to tell you what a specific lead sounds like. It will not happen. And then Dave Mustaine on this album, I don't know what it is. Like, if you notice, you listen to United Abominations, which was like the first of the newer albums that I really liked by Megadeth. His vocals are pretty good on that album. And then you listen to Endgame, and his vocals kind of go down a little bit. They're not as good. And I'm like, yeah. And then 13. Again, I really like the vocals on 13. And then this album, they're terrible. I don't understand, like, why they have to go back and forth. You know, as somebody who's a vocalist, you know, I hear these notes that are just wrong. Dave Mustaine is trying to sing too much on this album.
That's his problem.
He's not doing Dave. Like, when Dave does Dave, he does fine. When he's not really singing, he's just being him. But then he's trying to sing. There was one part in... I don't even remember the song anymore.
Dance in the Rain.
That one, with the middle part, like...
bad.
Like, that's supposed to sound epic. Like, he does like a middle thing where it's supposed to be like a harmony. I'm like, yeah, but then, like, he does it. And... it's terrible, and then like other voices come in behind it. I'm like, oh nope, his voice is still there. Nope, still doesn't sound good. So I mean, there's literally, I think, nothing else to talk about with this album. I've literally covered the entire album for you right there. disappoint. Just,
yeah. I mean, Keith said it all. I mean, this album starts okay with Kingmaker. It's like it starts up here and goes down here. That's kind of how it happens. And when it starts up here, it's not like it's way up here. It's like if this is the bottom, this is where it starts, and then went like that. It doesn't. Kingmaker really isn't that great of a song, but compared to the rest of the songs, it's amazing. Same with Super Collider. I mean, when I heard Super Collider, I was like, this is fucking horrible. What in the hell has happened? Like, did they, like, lose their balls or something? They don't even play their guitar on that song, and then the rest of it comes out, and I'm like, wow, Super Collider's almost the best fucking song on the album. Actually, the best song on their album on this album isn't even theirs. The Thin Lizzy cover's pretty badass, and it's not even theirs. But, I mean, Keith said it, how the leads drag it down, how Dave Mustaine drags it down, but also the lyrics drag it down. The lyrics are absolutely atrocious. It feels like I'm listening to like the PBS channel of metal over here, and I'm getting preached to about not to turn my back on my friends and don't do drugs, and how I'm falling off the fucking edge and I should dance in the rain and all this stupid shit. They're horrible. Dave Mustaine, what does Dave Mustaine usually write about? He writes about badass things, like government conspiracies or something. This is fucking stupid. And you know, you can write about friendships or drugs or whatever, but don't make it corny as shit. That's what he did. He went the wrong route with it. It was horrible. It's like he's trying to be like my fucking brother, and I don't want that. That's stupid. And not only, you know, do the lyrics are god-awful, he sounds awful. It's like he's trying too hard to sound different, or like Keith said, he's trying to sing when he shouldn't sing. He's a horrible vocalist. He always has been. But you kind of just learn to accept it. And, you know, that's how Megadeth is Megadeth. You just kind of accept everything. And once you get past that, you know, they're a pretty fucking good band. But it's hard to accept this fucking album. And, like in Dance in the Rain, that chorus, that song is actually not that bad. The first riff is fucking amazing. That is a great riff. And then, you know, it kind of awkwardly, a little bit just picks up tempo, but it's okay, you know. And then the chorus comes, he's like, dance in the rain, and it just sounds horrible. He sounds so off-pitch on so many different occasions on this album. I'm not even a vocalist. You know, I'm usually there, or I try to be, when Keith records vocals for our band's EP, and I can tell, like, maybe when Keith's off-pitch a little bit. You know, you start to pick up on that shit. He sounds so bad on this album. I'm not even a vocalist. It's just, oh my god, it's atrocious. And some of the riffs are okay. Like, there's some okay moments on here. The riff in Beginning of Sorrow is pretty cool until, once again, Dave Mustaine ruins it with his vocals. I mean, it's such a fucking disappointment. In the leads, there's like no solos on this album. And if they are, they're really short and they're very horrible. They're very uninspired, unimaginative, and it's just like they just fucking winged it and they didn't sit down and do anything, you know? And there's these leads that they're just like, okay, play the song and I'll just play something random right here. And it's just, they all sound the same. They're so fucking annoying. You hear it in one song and then you hear it in the next song, and they're all up high like this and they're all like, wee, 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 wee. And it's just fucking stupid. Oh my god, it drives me crazy every time I hear it. It's just like when you notice somebody says something over and over again, such as many of you notice that we say like a lot, and that bothers you, and so you comment saying, you say like all the fucking time, you know, write a script, go to speech class or something, and, you know, it bothers you that we say like all the time. I'm sorry if we do, but, you know, you pick up on that all the time. Every time I say like, you'll be like, oh my god, why does he say this all the time? Well, when those leads come in, you pick up on that every time. You're like, oh my god! What the hell? Like it's like Chris Broderick's a no fucking show on this album. It's the Dave Mustaine experience. It's Megadeth. There's not even one solo at all that screams Chris Broderick wrote this. It's all Dave Mustaine. He has his fucking fingerprints all over this. You can tell. I don't even know how he thought this was good enough to put out, or how his bandmates let him put this out. They probably just fear that they'll kick him out. He'll kick him out of his fucking band. He won't have a job or something. There's nothing good to say about this album. There really is. It's hard to find something to say about it. Like I said, maybe every once in a while there's a good riff. But and I think the part that sums up how Dave Mustaine fucks everything up on this album is the song Built for War. And when he comes in yelling Built for War, what do you think your fists are for? That is fucking atrocious. Not only is those lyrics bad, but he sounds like he's fucking been constipated for the past fucking month. And he's finally trying to shit. It's terrible. There's nothing good to say about this.
Yeah, this album very much is reminiscent of like Risk back when it
This gives Risk a run for its fucking money, if you ask me. And you know, we thought Temper Temper was bad by Bullet for My Valentine, and that was hands down the worst album of the year, but I don't know.
This is
a fucking musical abomination. This is a musical holocaust right here.
Yeah. I'm not, so...
What would you pick, Temper Temper or Super Collider? This Super collides into a fucking brick wall, that's what this is.
Can I pick neither? Because I mean, like, I went into that album, I went into Temper Temper, like I was mentioned while we were talking earlier. I went into that album with low expectations. So all they had to do was try, and they could have beat my expectations. They didn't, but that's all they had to do. This album, I kind of expected a lot, and it got brought down. So
it's like they
if I could listen to neither, I'd be really happy.
I know. If I had to listen to either, I just might not live another day.
Yeah.
I'm not listening to this album anymore. I don't even know if I'm going to buy this. I almost have every Megadeth album. I don't even know if I'll buy this just for fucking, collection purposes. That's about all this has. Collecting dust is its best thing that it can do. Or, I don't fucking know.
Being used for, kindling in a fire.
Yeah. Or, throwing it at your dog so it can shit on it. That's about it. I give this album a 2 out of 10.
I'm not even going to bother rating it. It's that bad.